Well, here's the carnage. Number 1 cylinder. This is on the passenger side. I don't know, who knows why. I'm calling it 1. 2 exhaust valves hit the piston. Number 2, 2 exhaust valves. Number 3 was real lucky. 2 intake and 2 exhaust. And number 4, 2 intake valves. Now, let's have a look at the cylinder head. There's the 2 nice bent valves on number 1. We move to number 2. They're not bent quite as bad. They're almost ready to try to close. Number 3, yeah, they're seriously bent. And then we go to number 4. Now, I think the cam lobes are holding this open, but like, yeah, they're seriously bent. So it looks like a total of probably 4 intake valves and 6 exhaust. Definitely 6 exhaust. 2 to 4 intakes. I'm thinking these guys are done. So yeah, 4 intake and 6 exhausts. So that's good for 10 valves out of 16. So you got to remember, this thing was just barely above an idle when this happened. So it launched her good, and you know, me cranking over with the starter a couple times there, once on the video and once before that, I doubt it did it any harm. She was probably bent before that. So, because I could tell from the sound that all the cylinders in the engine were open. None of them had any compression. So, anyway, gotta admit their head gasket sure stuck good. It took a lot to get it separated from the block, and had a little bit of fun with the 3 exhaust bolts also. The thing I did there was take the computer off the firewall and just let it hang down in the shelf that mounts it there, get it off, and then I could get my 1/2-inch ratchet on there with a pounded on 14mm socket. And this was after 2 days of release all, letting them soak. You gotta let those exhaust bolts soak a long time there if you don't want to snap any of them off or anything. So I was able to get them off. The 3 nuts there and all of the bolts, studs out of the cylinder head. So far I've been pretty lucky. The one thing I had to do, I had to break this chain guide piece here. It acted like it got partially broken or something. It was in the way of the one bolt anyways. There's a head bolt right there, right down there. That's those 4. There's 4 of them that are Torx head on this engine at least. So that 9mm 12-point socket pounded on. Had to talk with them. So far I guess it hasn't been all that bad. It's just you know, the price of now I got to look at if it did anything to the camshaft rollers also. I'll flip it over here and continue. So I got the head flipped over here, top side up. So my question is, with the piston hitting the valves, what does it do to the cam followers the cam followers there when the valve rams into it, and you know, it's got nowhere to go. So I'll have to peel them all out when I tear the camshafts out, and have a fun time figuring out if maybe I need to buy a few of them too. I don't know enough about these engines to know whether it would damage them or not. On the pushrod engine with rocker arms and that, it certainly can. So I guess that remains to be seen, but at least I got her peeled down here, and I can figure out if I want to sink the money in it to fix it, or just take her to a friendly scrapyard. But my guess is I'm going to be fixing it, since I got so much time invested in it already. Plus, of course, then there's my general policy: drive them till they drop, and then turn them into a lowrider. So that would entail fixing this and keeping it running. So lots of fun either way, that's for sure. It'd be nice if a person had about $1 million. They just wouldn't have to worry about this type of thing, but unfortunately that's not the case.